Podcast is going now. It was a miracle. Okay, I can't do his voice, but welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to what was previously known as Johnny Reviews, now is known as the Slice of Life podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, the life that we are slicing today. On the other side of the table, we got Donnie.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? How are you doing?
Hey.
Dude, for those of y'all that didn't know the intro for this little song or this podcast right now that we did, it was one of theirs. It's Sweet Cambodia is their band. Nightmare on the Avenue, live in Donnie's backyard. Yep. I just read it right there.
That's that good stuff.
That's that good stuff, man. That's one of my favorites, man. I'm gonna put down a link of all of that stuff, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Donnie, how are you doing, man? How is Donnie? How's Donnie's world?
Feeling alive, you know?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I woke up at 10, which is actually pretty early for me.
Dude, you would post at 4 or 5 in the morning.
That's my midday.
I don't even
midday.
I don't even know if you're awake at that time or if you're just getting up, and I'm you did say you like getting up early, and I was like, all right.
I like the idea of getting up early. Now putting that into play, that's the hard part.
Mm-hmm. Dude, Let me just give a little recap to people that don't know who he is. I met him at a coffee shop. He had a guitar going. I thought he was really good, and I was like, "Bro, what's up, man? How are you doing? I like your guitar playing. Are you a musician?" And he's like, "I mean, yeah, dude, I have a guitar." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, cool, dude.
Wow.
I'm a drummer." He's like, "No way, I'm a drummer too." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's awesome." And that's whenever
then we were like, "Oh, we can be friends."
Dude, literally, I was over here showing you my shitty drumming, and then you're just like, dude, yeah, you can come over and jam out. I was like, hell yeah. That's when I met all of Sweet Cambodia. Mm-hmm. And dude, all of y'all are awesome. Cool cats. They're all pretty cool guys.
Thank you.
You're their drummer. Talk a little bit about
some days.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about how you started, why'd you become a drummer? I know, sort of, but not my audience. So
why did I become a drummer?
Yes.
To not punch holes in my wall.
I would say elaborate.
As a 10-year-old, I was a very young, very angsty kid. Grew up very poor, so
I would say what inspired you, but then I like this answer a lot better.
Yeah, it's okay. It's I found that whenever I played drums, I wasn't punching holes in my walls whenever my mom would ground me for escaping my room.
Yeah.
So fuck you, mom.
Man, I don't know.
No, you got to pay for that. Go mow the yard for 3 months. Damn it.
It's damn it, dude. I really. No, dude. Okay, so what inspired you, man? What was you just started becoming? You felt like you were good at it, or you just I'm gonna keep doing it?
So I had one moment, right? I mean, there was multiple moments that kind of led up to me being the drummer that I am today, but yeah. There was one specific moment that I remember that kind of sparked it, and it was whenever I was with my friend Haley Byrne, mm-hmm. and I think I was in the 4th or 5th grade. And she had this really shitty garage drum kit, and she played guitar, and her dad was like, yeah, you're gonna start a band one day. So he got her a really bad garage drum kit, and then she was like, yo, come over and just play on the drums. And I was like, I don't know how to play drums. But she was like, well, I don't have any friends, so so come over here and play drums. So I was like, awesome. All right. That's awesome. And then I was messing around with it, and then she was playing guitar, and we were both sounding really bad. Yeah. And then for one moment, I remember I did a fill. I was like, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-ba, and there was a rest, and we both stopped at the same time. Yeah. And we looked at each other. Uh-huh. We were like, oh my God. We freaked out. We were oh my God, that sounded like something.
10-year-old Donnie's just like, yes,
I just did that. Yeah.
Okay, so. Dude, I feel like there's a moment in a lot of musicians, I think just like that end up happening where they did I just create something? Because at that point, you just kind of felt like it was the eye opener that you needed, I guess. Kind of like, I think I like doing this.
Right.
I think I like what I just create, especially for Phil. Like when you get good at that, like you can stay in rhythm, you can be in rhythm, but then when you like add your own rhythm to that rhythm,
Add the sauce, the special sauce, yeah.
And then you just end up feeling like, oh my God, I just created something out of like this sort of time limit.
Just working with the groove, yeah.
Dude,
Yep.
it's so weird. And I was I was listening to y'all's band, and I was like seeing the type of like music and the way that you kind of like explained to me like how your band was. It's like there's so many different subgenres to that, and I was like, that's the beautiful thing about music is that when you even add it to like the filler world, like there's so many ways to fill music in a jazz sense, in a reggae sense, and so many of these you can implement it in so many ways.
That's a great way to describe Sweet Cambodia in the first place. It's just a conglomerate of
so many different subgenres,
different genres. Yeah, I mean like my I mean we're probably gonna have another podcast with Sweet Cambodia.
100%.
But you know, speaking for them, Eric is more of the
talented
guitarist.
Yes.
He's more of like a classic rock kind of dude, and funk. Really loves classic rock and funk. Like looks up to Steve Vai.
I could see it.
And all that, and rips crazy solos and like jumps into the crowds, and you know it like is like he acts like we're playing in a punk band when we're playing in a funk band live, but
that's cool. Like I could see even the way like he moves with the guitar, he just like does all that stuff, and I'm just like, that doesn't scream what type of music that I would think of, like what your sound, the sound that you're trying to portray, but it goes with it.
We have like on stage we have the energy of a punk band while we're playing like funk rock, you know. But just to answer the rest of the question, Savvy plays like a funk progressive kind of thing, very like Parliament funk 80s kind of stuff, but now he's been mixing in like a lot of like new techniques with like tapping and slapping and doing all this stuff. It's called the slap and tap.
And
then I come from like
good.
It's crazy. And then I come from like a very progressive like math rocky kind of indie
technical, are you saying?
Like a very more technical side of everything, and then we just kind of, it was like this triangle, but we have to make it a circle, so we kind of just like round off all the edges until we kind of like come together and meet in the middle. Right.
Savvy, dude, the way he I like when I was just sitting there and I was like listening to how each one of y'all play. Savvy has a really unique way, like how he puts his face, like how he like gets into it, and it's just like.
That's the funk face.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And
like he's smelling shit, like actual like somebody just took a shit like right on his face. Yeah. And then you're just like
whoa, man, like the intensity is there, and I see it.
And
it's
so
then pure.
If you can smell it, you can play it, you know, and that's really the
yeah. It's like he has the motion. Savvy has like this motion that goes with him, and I was like trying to. It's not the same as yours or your new guitar. Like I saw your new guitarist too, and like he's more relaxed, he's more mellow, and he's just like and it just like, well, it's like so many different things going on.
But Xavier has this like. Yeah, like I don't even know what it is. I can't do it as good as he can, but it's just like a natural reaction. Whenever you're in the funk, you make a funky face.
Yes,
you know?
Yeah. Everybody has their own unique way. I love everybody in your band. It's just like they all have like a different perspective, and y'all created something.
Definitely weird personalities,
100%.
All being mixed together. Yeah.
What was the first song that y'all did? Like, was it
the first song?
First song that y'all
first song that we ever did was Sun Poisoning.
Sun Poisoning?
Yep.
I'm gonna search that up here in a bit.
Yeah, that's actually on our first EP. If you want to look it up, you can. But it's like it's like a funk rock anthem kind of thing. But that was the first song. Like whenever I came in.
Yes.
And funny backstory: I was not the original drummer for Sweet Cambodia.
Okay. See. Okay. How long have y'all been Sweet Cambodia, or how long was Sweet Cambodia?
About 6 years.
6 years. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you came in what year, and who did you replace?
Like the end of 2015.
Okay.
Coming into 2016.
Okay.
There was a guy named Patrick, and he was the drummer before me, and I don't even remember his last name. But he, I guess, like flunked his college or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember the whole like his side of things, but
Right.
all I got was he failed school and his parents were so fucking pissed at him that he was just like, you got to come back up to Pennsylvania.
Bye.
And so he was just like, hey, and I guess like he had been like telling the band like, yeah, I'm gonna go like visit my parents for like 2 weeks. He's like, hey, remember that that little vacation thing?
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like just staying there. Yeah. So
Okay, 'cause Savvy told me his story too. Like he wasn't original either. Who was all the original? Like members?
Savvy is
he was the original.
Yeah, Savvy's an original. Eric is the original.
Eric is the original.
And then they actually how they started out was with I don't remember the guy's name. I think it was like Benny or Barry or something like that.
Yeah.
But he was actually a blind drummer.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's
right.
crazy.
Yeah,
that would be cool to kind of like.
They weren't known as Sweet Cambodia though.
Yeah.
They were known as the Three Hounds. Right. The Three Hounds.
Okay.
So I mean, if you can't. I mean, just the Three Hounds, that just sounds like you're going into the bar and like you're about to hear some cover band and the Three Hounds come on. You're like, oh, great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So that
it's
and I remember being in the band and being like, or like about to start this band. I was like, we gotta change.
We gotta change.
We gotta change the name.
You were the person that said
I was
or
definitely.
suggested it.
I was actually the one that created the name Sweet Cambodia. Yeah.
Okay, so then if you're what inspired you to say it, like Sweet Cambodia?
So we were having this discussion with our manager Itai, and he was like blah blah blah, like talking about how like he fell in love in Cambodia and like he never saw that girl again or something like that. And Eric goes Sweet Concrete, and I was like, nah, Sweet Cambodia. And then everybody like looked around and we were like, yeah, Sweet Cambodia.
We were all high.
We were all
just like,
we were
wait a
actually
minute.
drunk off of Pink Moscato.
It's funny as that.
It's not even like a hardcore like whiskey, or like somebody punched us in the face and they were like, my name's Sweet Cambodia, and then it came to us.
It came to you at that point. It was Sweet Cambodia,
and that's the real true story. But if you were to ask anybody else, they would probably tell you a different story.
No, I think whenever I thought of like Cambodia, I was like, oh, like somebody's from Cambodia, and I was just like, no, they're not. They're all either Hispanic and white or some. There's like no, they're not from Cambodia. We're okay.
Nope.
Sweet Cambodia. And I was just like, it's just ringing to me for some reason. I don't know why, but it was just like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Right.
Like there was something that stuck.
It feels good to say.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it whenever I said it was like Sweet Cambodia. I was like, oh wow. You like come a little mentally.
Right.
It's like
right.
Sweet Cambodia.
Like like for anybody
like a
that's
good pastry.
For anybody that struggles with like trying to create a name, that's like Sweet Cambodia kind of just comes out like naturally.
So if you are trying to write or trying to make a band name, if it comes out and it feels good to say, stick with it.
Dude, I think like I'm gonna even say like Andrew, he was the one that inspired me to change. Well, like everybody was telling me to change my name. Like Johnny Reviews, like I wasn't doing reviews anymore. And then like I was just like thinking with him, and I was just like, dude, I gotta name it something different. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like what is Slice of Life? Just kind of simple. Slice of life. I talk about so many different perspectives of life.
It's a great concept.
Yeah. And so I was just like, that's it.
You can get deep, you can get surface, you can
yes. And it's like if I do bring up somebody like your perspective is from a band, a drummer from a band, it's like it's his life that we are talking about.
You want to be able to hit the general consensus.
Exactly. Yeah. See, and so like I was like, this is perfect, man. But for anybody that struggles to even just make a name, dude, just still create content until like it comes out. The Three Hounds was something, and then Sweet Cambodia came right after that, it's like that stuck. But you stick with it, and it's like, oh, that makes sense. That really does makes it's a flow. I guess that keeps coming naturally.
Right, and I can even say that it even matches the way the music sounds. It's like whenever you think about like whenever you hear Sweet Cambodia, like for at least me now, I'm just like really cool, interesting progressive funk rock. Really interesting melodies and. We're not afraid to get like down and dirty, but we're also not afraid to like, just be nice and happy for a second.
I remember the way that you explained it was, it's a mixture of like reggae, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers and Sean. Yeah.
Sean, yeah. And I was just like, I was like, okay. I was like, I'll give it a listen too. And then like, I was like, okay, I searched up the name. I was like, oh shit, they're on. Okay. I was high and I was just like, okay. I'm gonna.
I was really baked, and I like anything really whenever I'm baked, but I liked that.
No,
I knew whenever I was baked, I liked it.
I liked it at that point. I was, but it was just like I was just listening to it, and I was like, dude, listen to this music. He's like, I'm feeling this music. It's like, dude, I met their drummer today. Badass music. Like it was just like he's like, I like it, and we were just like, all right, that's cool.
Nice.
But
it's good. We like to be feel good.
Yeah,
actually, we're actually in a midst of changing a lot of things because we're like trying out a lot of like different types of lyricism and stuff like that. So now we're trying to not be so, I don't want to say like Disney. We're not going to be like very Disney. That's
funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
We're not being Disney. But you know, we don't want to be so happy-go-lucky anymore.
Yeah.
As far as like just something that you can just dance to. We also want to create like really interesting, passionate songs.
Yeah.
That like really like, you know, pull on your heartstrings. So now we're in the midst of like finding a good bridge between the two of like this really happy-go-lucky feeling with this sad or like just like things that we've gone through that we want to talk about, or problems that we're like currently facing that we just can't help but write about.
Right.
And we just hope that like somebody else
is gonna get that.
Somebody else will hear the message and be like, oh, like damn, I've been there.
Yeah.
Or it feels like they're like I want to be able to write a song, right? And like somebody's in a really like weird place in their life, and maybe they're really alone, and I want it to feel like I'm like sitting on the edge of their bed with them.
Ooh, okay.
You know, and that's just what I want. I just want them to feel not alone. I want to be able to like walk them through the music.
Ooh, that's deep. So there's a lot to decipher there because let me start off with this. I feel like there's a sense of like musicianship that goes with you're not just a drummer, and I think that's let's just clarify that I'm
a musician.
You're a musician, and there's some pure artistry that goes with that stems more than just playing like a beat on a drum, because you also create. You said you and Eric, y'all get together, y'all kind of like figure out the lyrics and stuff like that, and you know your strengths.
Well, sometimes we'll just sit right there and just start writing it right off the bat, just whatever we're feeling.
Exactly, and I think that's
take it home, close the door, close your bedroom door, stay in there for hours, come back out, a whole new caveman.
Exactly, and I think that's so that's something that it's distinctly hard because. Let's just say that like someone that is a cover artist, like they know they have a performance, they thrive off that, but they know there's not a sense of artistry in them. Like that, you know, like I just think they have to find that and keep trying to find that.
I can't say it's not an art.
It's not. I'm just
mimicking.
Saying, yes.
Mimicking
is an art.
is an art form in itself.
100%.
You know, you can cover music and. That's cool.
That's what I mean.
But you know, it's not. But whenever you're not like the original creator.
That's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Is the sense of like that is a sense of entertainment, just like creating is. But the fact that you bring out the creativeness out of it, and then you can also mimic, and you can also
to create something new.
Yes.
That's been done for years, for hundreds of thousands of years. It's hard to do.
It's hard to do
because there's so many formulas. There's so many different things. I'm just gonna punch this. There's so many different things that have been put together.
Yes.
You know, and so many orchestrations have been out there. I guarantee, like there's probably a song out there that follows our exact chord progression and everything, but we would never know because it's just so diluted.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of things get recycled, and I think that's where you're trying to go with is that we get inspiration from other artists that we like. You want it to kind of like feel like this, you want, or like sound like this, but it's not this,
right?
That's where it is.
I kind of have something for that, like for the people that like to do covers, like but want to break out of doing covers and creating your own thing, like be influenced.
Yes,
there's not a problem with being influenced.
Yes, I'm not shitting on cover. I feel like I would be a cover person.
Fuck covers, okay?
And I'm like somebody. If you get a look at my TikTok and you see my little drumming videos, I'm like
all covers.
Almost all covers, dude. And I'm like, but it's only I've only had 4 covers. But I like to dress up. I'm like in the moment of like there's like a performing side that you have to hype up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so from like
nobody wants to see you just being like,
no, you have to sell it. You have to fucking sell it. It's emotional.
yeah.
And that's what I mean. I'm not shitting on anybody. Like whoever's a fucking cover artist or like mimicker, whatever. You're good at that. Good at it. Fucking.
What I always suggest, like especially for people that are trying to get into the creative process, it's okay. Like if you're trying to find your own voice, to be influenced by other people,
right?
Just don't become that person.
A person.
You know, and I don't want to shit on Greta Van Fleet.
Whoa,
but
that's funny how you like went.
No,
you went straight to them.
no. But as an example of them,
Yeah.
like obviously, like they've been getting a lot of backlash because they sound, hate to say it, exactly like Robert Plant.
Yeah.
Like the lead singer for Greta Van Fleet sounds exactly like Led Zeppelin, right? And like you can't like
man.
you.
Yeah.
It's
Keep
just
going.
no. It's just be influenced. Be
Right.
influenced. That's fine, you know.
Right.
But find your own voice through that influence. Do something different.
Yeah.
We already had a Robert Plant.
Yes.
You don't need to do what he already did. You know, like we already had a Michael Jackson. Don't be Michael Jackson.
Don't be
again.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah. You know, like people already did that. So why would you want to be that? That's just stealing like somebody's thunder.
Yeah.
Or not stealing somebody's thunder because you can't steal Robert Plant's thunder. But it's coattailing, basically. Yes. It's coattailing. So
they're backing off somebody's success, and it's like it's also not. It's
stealing someone. It's stealing. Like
yes.
you took somebody's creative, like they're like everything that made them, and then you're just like, oh, I'm gonna do that too.
Yeah, and it's
you're just like, fuck you. Like, why would you steal from me?
That's tough for an artist, you know. Like I wouldn't say like I'm not feeling bad for the artist. I think they need to try to figure out some sort of new, unique way to kind of implement their skills and what they think they're good at,
right.
and you're not wrong. I feel like you can even implement that into like business or like lifestyle or anything. It's like, dude, we already had this. Like, do something different. Like, you know what I mean? And all of that makes perfect sense. And for the people that you did bring up, yeah, like I hate to even say it, like people find like. They try to find those things, like even if you have you don't have a musician's ear, people are like, that kind of sounds like that kind of sounds like this. I don't know. Yeah. Like,
is this really original?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's the thing, man.
And it takes a while to really craft your own your musicianship.
Yes.
You know, it takes a very long time, and for somebody to just kind of like go in there and steal all your ideas and be like, oh, well, that's mine now. It's just like, no, you're just a piece of shit.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck?
Like be your own artist. Create your own thing. You know, don't just coattail off of somebody else's like creativity.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Especially because I think like what works out so good with your band, and especially is that I feel like y'all each had like a little puzzle piece that y'all are like this is what kind of makes it good for you to look like make it good.
Taking all those genres and putting them together and then figuring out how that works.
Yeah,
and it's definitely a puzzle piece that we're always like figuring out, and then some piece doesn't work. You're like, we'll make it work.
We'll probably put it in the back burner for a little bit. Let's just let's work with this.
Yeah,
this is working. Mm-hmm. And even when I saw y'all, like y'all were like. Just like y'all would be like what about whenever you like hit this riff or something like y'all are just talking, and it's just like that's chemistry. That's like y'all creating something right there. And from that point I'm just kind of like, whoa, like that is that's what I think of whenever I think of artistry. Like each one of y'all can have like a sense of self, but then when y'all come together, whoa, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You mentioned like especially someone being in the room, like you want to be there, you like to make sure that like you make them feel like they're not alone. Mm-hmm. And it's like I feel like a lot of good musicians went through a struggle. Would you say that's true? Like, would you need to go through a struggle to be a really good musician?
No.
Or an impactful musician?
No.
Okay.
But the really good musicians did. Normally,
does that stray them away from like mediocre?
So
musicians?
I can kind of give an example here.
You can give.
So there's a girl I don't remember exactly her name, but I know the song that she made.
Okay.
And it's called Besame Mucho, right?
Okay.
And it's a jazz song, created like I think like in the 1960s,
Okay.
1950s, 1940s,
Okay.
somewhere around there in that area. But she wrote the song, and the song is about like somebody's first kiss, right? And each time you kiss each other, like you hear music divide and everything. That's an actual lyric. But her being 15 and writing that song, she had never actually kissed the person yet.
Whoa.
But the song was it felt like she had already been able to do that, right?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily you have to go through a struggle, but if you can imagine the struggle well enough, or if you can imagine a situation and put yourself in that situation well enough to be able to write the feelings about it, then then you're still like that good of a musician, if that makes any sense. You're still that good creator.
Would you say that have you done that where you probably haven't gone through this, but you see the struggle of
Me
somebody?
personally, no.
Okay.
I haven't really done that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've written songs, not being in my shoes, but being in the person that's affecting me's shoes, if that makes any sense.
Okay, but they're still part of your
part of the
life,
situation,
life,
right?
Yeah.
But I've thought about it like from their perspective, and then I would write a song about it from their perspective. You know, like certain things like that. That like, because you know, if I'm always singing from my perspective, it kind of gets like victimizing, you know, a little bit. And I don't want to be like, man, you. So it's like, I kind of want to just stray away from that and be like, here's another aspect. Here's another, you know, view.
No, okay, so that makes sense. I mean, I'm looking at even like not just the first and secondary, like he, them, or like you, me, in this, but like also just the surroundings of it, and like you also get like those types of songs that scream for like what's going on in the world or what's in this situation, and still probably from someone's perspective, but it's clamoring and it's getting more people involved, and it's just like
it just depends on how imaginative you are. You know, if you don't have to necessarily be in the situation to be able to talk about it,
right?
But if you can feel that, then you can talk about it.
You think you're an empath?
Yes, very.
Okay, I can see it, because even then I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
You have to be a writer, but
exactly.
then also in some other terms, you have to be so like the opposite almost, and apathetic, and just be super into yourself almost, and being so one-sided to be able to write a completely other type of song, you know. So it's good to have both, to be able to just like portray like exactly the way you see it, and that way is probably a very unique way to look at something, because it's like strictly your thought stream. Whereas like if you're doing it from somebody else, it might be a little convoluted. You know?
I'm thinking of like Queen's song is like "Don't Stop Me Now," like him, like "Don't Stop Me Now," like it's just like him, just kind of like no, don't fucking stop me right now. Like I'm in a fucking role, but he's also talking about other shit in that song that I'm like, okay, it's funny, but I don't know, man. I just think like I wouldn't say. Do you feel like anybody could be a musician?
Yeah, if you try hard enough.
Yeah. So like it's the reason I'm asking is just like I feel like there's everybody loves music. Everybody loves some sort of highway to music. It doesn't matter if it's like dancing everything. And it's just like there's something in there that screams like to us, and I'm just thinking like I feel like you're right. Everybody does have that voice, whatever it is. Maybe you're really good at dancing. You feel the beat more than you do the lyric more, or you feel like it's like all of that can kind of like go into your creativity. And I don't know, maybe I can tell you to give some advice, because I feel like you're a successful artist. So that's why I'm like,
thank you.
If you no, for real, man, it's like you're still going there. Even sucks because COVID happened. Yes.
We were selling out shows.
I know y'all were telling me. Y'all showed me the videos and everything. I was just like, freak, man, this sucks.
Yep, I was crowd surfing on my own crowd. It's awesome. Yeah, I miss it.
Take all the drums with you, and you're like, ah.
Yeah, it was so sick, man.
So what would you say? What would you say to somebody that is like struggling? They're not like maybe at the point where you are, where they found that band, they found their voice, they found you, because you feel like you found your voice a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with my music, as far as like drumming and guitar playing and lyricism goes, I definitely think that I found my own niche. Yeah. And I've crafted it, and I'm always still crafting, but
Yes.
you never stop. But
100%.
I'm definitely figuring out my path.
Yeah. So what would you say?
Just be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Work on your discipline. Don't be afraid to just close the door and like just stay in your room for hours and hours on end, just staying on one song if you have to. But also at the same time, take a breather, refresh your ears. Sometimes I found myself when I was playing just drums every single day and just going so hard and bleeding from my hands and getting blisters and stuff like that, just because I was just so dedicated that I would get super hazy in my head with creating new ideas. And it wasn't until I took a break, because I had to physically, because I was just ripping through my hands. I was ripping holes in my hands.
Yeah.
That I realized that everything is good in moderation. So whenever
That's good advice even for anything.
yeah, everything is good in moderation.
Yes.
So to be creative, you have to not be creative, if that makes any sense. So if you shouldn't be forcing creativity. So creativity just kind of comes in as a flow, reaching from the ether, if you will, just taking that little idea and just throwing it in there. So, I mean, obviously, like, do your studying, do all that stuff, but also, like, take time for yourself, like, do, like, that nice, tender love and care.
Yeah.
And then come back to it and just be patient with yourself on that, because you're not going to become this master musician in one day. You're not going to become a master musician in 1 year. You're not going to become a master musician in 5 years. You might get really fucking good, but you won't become the master that you're striving to be until you create that space for yourself.
Space.
Yeah, and just practice, but create the space.
You heard that? Like, anybody that is like struggling out there, I feel like I think even just listening to other people's perspective can be beneficial. Even your perspective, like someone's gonna hear that. And someone's gonna be like, "Oh man, I gotta be patient. I gotta take this in moderation. I have to find this balance. I gotta,
Right.
And
That's the worst. Finding balance. I'm just like,
Yes.
my life is crazy.
Dude.
Finding balance in my chaotic life. I'm
man,
just like,
you seem pretty
if
sane.
I can do it, if I can find some sort of balance, and I can figure out a practice schedule, so can you.
It's like, for all you we're all a little psycho, but I mean, like there's some people that can't fucking hide it. So like, if you can't, just find it.
Yeah. And honestly, if you're more psychotic, the better the music. So
I mean, that I guess that's perspective. I don't know, man. Like,
did you ever see Gigi Allen?
No, haven't. No, I haven't.
Sorry.
What about
it's
it?
a horrible. It's like a. That's like the an antonym to this situation. If I were to describe it, it's like okay, so just to like talk about Gigi Allen for a second. It's pretty funny. So I got put on to Gigi Allen by a band called CKY. Maybe you know about CKY.
I knew CKY, yeah.
Can't Kill Yourself. It's like Bam Margera's brother is the drummer for that band, Jess Margera. And
I completely forgot he had a brother until like you brought it up. Like,
right,
like,
yeah.
Yep, CKY.
Yeah. So it's so funny. The guitarist for CKY gets sloshed out of his mind on tour, and he's at Gigi Allen's grave, just drinking, I think Jack Daniels, like the whole fucking bottle, the whole bottle. Like, he makes sure to do it, and he pisses all over his grave and all that. And the reason why is because Gigi Allen would have wanted that.
Right.
And now Gigi Allen, this man's right here, can't bring him anywhere, right? He like, I saw him on a talk show once, and he was like, "I'm gonna steal your kids." He is infamously known for taking a shit on stage and throwing it at the crowd. Like, if you go to a Gigi Allen show, loving Gigi Allen, you will hate Gigi Allen at the end of the show. And that was the whole point. He wanted you to hate him.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I guess. Yeah, he's very. You're right. Maybe it's just the psychoticness in him that's like, fuck you. Like this is what makes my music great. Like
he's. But that's why I was like, it's an antonym. But
man, it's like the only antonym, I guess. Like no, there are some oddballs out there, and even in the music industry.
Oh, I mean, Marilyn Manson's pretty off the wall too. But,
yeah, and that's.
Did he really take off the ribs to suck his own dick? Yes.
Man,
I actually got his biography once whenever I was.
You're crazy. Why would you do that?
Wasn't me. I got it as a gift. My grandpa was like loved Marilyn Manson. He was like, you know what? This would be a great thing to get this fucking 10-year-old. Gives me a Marilyn Manson biography. I'm just reading him like, damn, he took out his ribs to suck his own dick. This is crazy, Mom. She's like, give me that. What do you? DT gave this to you? That's my grandpa. Shout out DT.
No, man, and just taking it back to even the music industry is just like, okay, so let me ask you this: do you think that the music now is better than what the music was? Let's just say like people that say they have an old soul and they have like that music taste that takes them back even to before they were born. And is there a difference between like music now? Is it better? Or is it worse?
That's a very complicated question.
Very complicated. But
there's so many answers.
Person. So decipher it for me.
Yes and no. And the only reason why I'm very conflicted within this because
I think you're very also passionate about it.
Because the 1800s, right, where they were it was like the Renaissance era or like the Baroque era.
Oh yeah, okay.
They were like creating the craziest symphonic, like. There were compositions that were just out of this world. Like these piano players were just like creating these pieces that were just masterpieces, changing keys and making it so fluent that you were just like, how? And so it's really hard to say because like, okay, yes, they created a lot of really good stuff back then, right? But the only thing I can say about classical music back then that is very different from like musicians now is that there was only really like, this is a personal thing. There's only really like in classical music, you can take like one piece out of that and make like a whole last song out of just like a section. And I feel like where there was a lot of melodies and really cool things happening, there wasn't anything super like, oh my gosh, like that chord progression and that, like it just all seemed like very like, I'm gonna make this song and like they go through the melodies. But now I feel like in music nowadays, they've learned how to take the good parts, that little snippet, that 10-second where you were like, oh, I love that. That's the good part of the song. And they made every song like that. We make every song like this, like that one little part.
Are you saying that's a bad thing, or are you saying that's
no?
That's
I'm saying that's the progression that we've come to. Yeah, it's like now like because back then it just felt like a lot of convoluted melodies that were just like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm not to shit on classical music. No, obviously classical music is fucking amazing, and there's so much you can learn from the compositions between it.
Some people still love that, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I still listen to classical 100%. Music so that I can be like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
and
like I listen to jazz, and like this, we keep going down the ages of like how like it came from composition and like orchestra all the way to like, man, I don't know if you like, you know, me and you talked about jazz and we talked about like some of the great things about it. And
I played in a big band for years.
Yeah, and that was one of the things I was like, man, dude, you've done like you delve in so many different aspects, and I think that's so great. You learn a lot.
Yep.
And there's something that I love about jazz, and it's just like when you watch it, like, man, it's gonna sound like a whole La La Land thing, but whenever I'm watching the chord progression of the drummer just go at it, just and he's just going
chord
crazy.
Progression of the drummer?
Yeah, or like, okay, so like when the drummer's when the drummer has his
playing
piece,
a chord now.
Yeah, well, he's playing a piece, right?
Okay.
And then like he's just in it, he's in everything, and then
if you're a good drummer, you can hear the melody within the rhythm.
Yes.
So I understand what you meant.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah.
Asshole.
But I was just like, that's funny to say. Like,
no, and then it get passed down to like the saxophone, and each one has like a solo piece in it, and I don't that's not all jazz, but whenever I hear that type of where they're just kind of like constantly
play off of each
yes
other.
it's like it's always different, it's always
improv.
yes
They're like,
and,
oh cool, you're doing triplet eighth notes, and now you're moving to like dotted notes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And
Yeah.
then do ga ba-doom, ga, oh my god,
bro, I get sweat. I'm just like looking at it, and I'm just
Yeah.
oh,
Just
what's
like how
going
did
on?
like how did they come up with that formula right
Yeah.
there and then? It's like, well, they practiced their asses off.
100%.
And they closed the door in their room and
100%.
and sat there and went bop
Bop, bop.
bop bop. Yeah, you're just like,
Head
wow.
bobbing right there. Just
Yeah.
keep that rhythm right there,
Yeah,
and then
just-
and you're still having that rhythm on the feet, and dude, and it's even thing like, and I look at it from that perspective, and I look at jazz from the swing perspective of like dancing, and I look at it, and it's like, whoa, okay, this isn't like the constant battle in a piece of music. It's like everything's in harmony. Everything is like everything's
Yep.
coming together to kind of come up with the dancing.
Right.
So it's like, whoa,
the
this
feel good parts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The groove.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then like then you add the harmonies from like people singing, and you get those types of like jazz where it's not just like a piece for dance. It's not just a piece for I guess like I don't know how if people just listen to jazz just to enjoy it or to dance to it, but now you feel something with it because I guess people can feel something with just those two things, but then you add some
Add the special sauce.
add some lyrics into it,
The special sauce.
and then you get this whole idea of like
and people have like these certain things that they love about music.
Yes.
And I have a theory that
please
that-
share that theory.
Yeah, the theory is that it kind of and I'm not even sure if I really even believe in what's it called whenever you have a past life.
I just talked about this.
Reincarnation.
I talked about this 3 podcasts ago.
Really?
So yes. It's
Okay,
crazy.
so reincarnation. Let's pretend like exists just because it's fun.
Okay.
So if you have a past life, right?
Right.
Then whatever was going on in that era, you relate that music with it, right?
Yes.
So if you learn a really old beat, right? If you and drums are the oldest instrument out of everything. Before melody, there was rhythm, right?
Yes.
So drums have a very like old-timey thing. Yeah,
feel.
it has history.
Yes.
So if you play something like boom tapu ga ba doom taku do ga da doom taku, you're immediately gonna get every single Spanish person in there moving their hips.
Yes.
Dun, ga do ga doom ga do ga doom ga do ga doom ga doom ga. But along with that, say that you learn like a Native American beat, right? Where it's like sounds more like a drum circle happening, right?
Oh yeah.
People that maybe had a past life that was with that that was in that era
Yeah.
will be like, man, for some reason, but whenever you played that song, like I resonated with it.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like, yeah, because
there was like a past
and you
life
know
or
what,
something.
I implement this theory into my music, even though like I'm like, I don't know if this is a real thing, but I implement it in my music. So I went out of my way to learn all these different types of styles and genres because I wanted to be able to hit people where it
counts.
where they can't help but feel it.
Yes.
You know, where
their
it's like,
soul.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
where
Where that little reincarnation
Yes.
part resides.
Resides.
And he's like that old person that's living in there is like, I remember this song. I remember this beat.
And that's the thing, man.
And it brings nostalgia. you know?
Yes. And I'm not saying like I always, and at that point maybe that clears up the question of like, why don't people love jazz like I do? Does that make sense? Like
You were probably a cat walking around in New York.
Fucking New York with my style, dude. And that's the thing. Like it delves deeper than just like the music.
Yep.
And then I wonder like, why don't I like their type of music? And then I'm just thinking,
you don't feel it. Why am I not super crazy into metal music? You're just like, I don't know.
I love metal music.
I love metal music too, but you know, a lot of people
don't.
Or country.
I love country, dude. That's the thing.
Mostly people hate country, but you know what? Country is one of those genres where it's like you either fucking you just love it.
Yeah.
You're just like you go out and you go.
Bro, but see,
you sit in the back of your truck. And you grab a beer with the boys, and you're singing, and they're singing about how like They, you
it's,
got your
it's the blues and shit where they're like, I'm having some
they got-
troubles, and like
my blue jeans are rusty, and she just stole my boat through the divorce. So now it's me and my dog. Yeah.
man. Okay, so dude, I'm from Texas, okay, and I can shit on some country music, and I always like I always. That's the thing. I don't relate to country music in that sense. I only relate it to dancing. And that's the thing. So whenever
Square dancing.
Fuck, dude. And then the country swing and all this other stuff. Dude, that's so much fun. But then, like, there's some type of country music that I just, like, I don't resonate with it. Yep. And so I can't, like I was thinking, whenever you say you either love it or you hate it, and it's like, I kind of love it. I kind of hate it. Like, there's so many types of country songs that I'm just like.
Right. Just it's normally like people are like, fuck country.
No,
or like, I fucking love country.
Now more than ever though. Like, and that's why it stems to like the old typey, like there's old country and people that like that old soul type of country.
Yeah, like banjo shit.
Yeah, or like a John kind of like, I think it was like John Wayne, I don't know, but like that old type of like deep voice.
Lock them doors and turn them lights down low.
Yeah, it's like that type, or like yeehaw, get in the like God, it gets into
I'm like fucking kill myself. Yeah. I'm just like yeehaw. I'm like, well, I'm gonna change the station right now. I'm just like, this is not I was feeling it for a second, but not anymore.
Oh man, dude, I don't know, man. It stems like deeper, man. Because even then, like, I love dressing up cowboy, but then at the same time, I'm like, come on, man, have some fashion to yourself.
Yeah, I still think that you should get the Spurs.
No, for the cover.
Yeah. That's all I gotta say.
Man, I'll text like some family members I have in town. I'm like, hey man, do you have some Spurs I can use?
Do you have any like actual real cowboy
boots that I can
fuck up my drums
in such, Yeah, it's so weird, man. Look, what's so crazy is that like I'm Mexican, right? But like there's cowboy in Mexican, like they're like this called it's called norteñas.
What, one more time?
Norteñas.
I could not say that.
Northern. It's north. Norteña.
Norteña.
You're Puerto Rican, bro.
My dad went to jail when I was 4. Puerto Ricans.
Oh god. Man. I was about to say I probably don't pronounce the R. Norteña. I don't know. Like, it's something like that. I don't know. But bro, it's just funny.
Never taught me Spanish. It's funny because I tell people I'm Puerto Rican too. They're like, "Oh yeah,"
they start talking to me like,
"I'm no fucking yeah." I'm like, no,
"I'm the whitest Puerto Rican."
If anything, I'm trying to learn like Chinese right now. Like I'm not trying to fuck with.
I'm trying to go to Thailand, and that's my point too. Like how much Mexican likes country, like you like Thailand, like how much you wanted to, and I'm just like,
yeah, I get it.
It's weird, and I'm like thinking about it, and I'm like. Here's the thing. I think here's my theory. I think that a lot of people, once you're surrounded by this type of stuff for a long time, doesn't matter your race or whatever you want to classify yourself, you're gonna start liking that shit. Like you're gonna start liking that type of pop culture, I guess is what I'm saying.
Sure.
And for the longest time, because I lived in Texas, I got ingrained in both country, white people country, and Mexican country.
Interesting.
Very. But that's the reason why I like it.
Is there a difference? What is Mexican? What, like Spanish? Are you saying, is it Mexican country or is it just Spanish country?
Is there a Spanish country?
Is that what? I'm like,
okay, so
are you just explaining a mariachi band to me? Like, I don't know.
No, that's not even country, bro. That's romance.
Whenever I think like country in Mexico, or like that's what I think immediately is like people with the fucking hats, and they're just
which hat though? Which hat?
The mariachi hats. I don't know what the fuck they're called. The ones with the little things
Let
on.
me give you
fucking tall.
Let me give
and
you.
They're big.
Let me give you a crash course on this.
Oh shit!
See what you started.
I knew whenever I even brought this up, I was like, he's just gonna go in for it.
Let me give you some visual cues real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so I swear to God, if he's gonna come out here with a mariachi hat on, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna absolutely lose it. Okay, Okay. All right.
Let me just put that there for everybody to see what I'm talking about.
So this isn't exactly what I was thinking. This is definitely like very much stylistic. This is like a very proper, like.
Which one?
This is a swag mariachi band hat. Yeah.
Which one?
This one right here.
This one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's very like whenever I think about this hat. Look at this hat. Look at that. That's like.
Okay, so let me kind of explain to you why I delete these sort of things because it's kind of like ran out of. Okay, so this
Wait,
is Norteña.
Are we recording still?
Yeah, we are. We're still. No, we're still good. It's just man, this fucking phone is being a crack. Okay, so let me explain to you. The concept of this sort of thing and this sort of thing. This is kind of like I think of the mariachi as the authentic way that people look at Mexicans. Like I guess like I think of it as the 50s, 60s of like how Elvis and all that stuff with the how romantic type of music. That's what I think about mariachi. Like
really?
Yes, like it's called romanticas, like in Spanish.
Okay.
Romanticas rancheras, like which is like ranch, but it's like it's
right.
It's a type of romance that kind of comes from a countryside. This one, this is norteña.
Right. That's like what are you doing over here, boy?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I mean. Is like
that hat's like, I'm gonna kill you if you keep stepping on my property. Yeah. Oh man. So funny.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. Is that there are so many different types. There's so many different types of music that like.
But this hat tells me like
what?
It's not.
There's a story to that.
There's like a stealthy like. That's like a stealth cowboy, you know.
What is that?
Like,
what does that mean? What does that mean?
He's like a cowboy, but like he's also kind of low key like a mobster, you know.
Okay.
You know,
that makes sense. Okay, that makes total sense. What about this one?
I'm sitting outside of a Mexican restaurant and I'm singing, you know, like the songs of my people.
Exactly. Okay. So yes, you're not wrong. See, that's what I'm saying. Like
I mean, not my people, your people. I'm Puerto Rican.
You're Puerto Rican.
I don't even. Do they have mariachi bands in Puerto Rico?
Dude, no. Mexican.
I've never been to either.
Mariachi
place,
is
so,
Mexican.
okay.
Like, see, so Spanish country. I don't know what that is, but like Mexican country is like it's this. But people, there's also a thing called banda. Like it's this like it's southern Mexico country.
So much right now.
Yeah, no, man, it's crazy. It's southern.
I'm better at speaking like Chinese than I am Spanish. It's so sad.
Dude, kinda.
Yeah, it's so sad. It's just like I'm just gonna leave and just go to another Asian country or something.
Dude,
like
and that's the thing.
Florida is just like there's so much Spanish.
It's so much.
You go to
It's
Miami,
so
you can't even read anything.
Dude,
I can't.
That's the thing. When I came here too, there's like so many different types of like Spanish. Like I was just like, okay, there's not a lot of Mexicans.
Let me ask you this: what is the like? I know this is kind of a sidetrack. We can get back to the music talking.
This is good.
But what do you think is the purest? Like I don't want to say the purest, but like the cleanest sounding Spanish.
The cleanest sounding Spanish
Yeah.
is. Okay, wait. Are we talking about like not Spain?
Out of all cultures,
South America or Central
all
America,
Puerto Rico,
Okay,
Colombia, Mexico.
Okay, you're asking me
Yeah.
opinion. Okay, so.
Because I know Mexico is not known for like the best Spanish. So that's why I'm asking you, because you're Mexican, so obviously you're gonna be like, oh,
there's so many. There's so many accents, right?
Right.
There's so many accents that stem all the way from us up here in the United States, all the way down to Argentina, which is like all the way down in Chile, all those. There's different types of the way like people talk. Like if you take
Right, it's like
Spain,
kind of like slang maybe a little bit.
If you take Spain, if you put the corazón, like the, is that considered pure because it came from Spain?
Yeah, right. I
exactly.
Mean,
so
does it sound the best? Like what sounds the best?
So clean, crisp.
Yeah.
I think I think that if you take Mexicans from that live here that are kind of like have like the slang that cholo, that's all slang. Puerto Ricans have a slang, like Dominicans have a slang,
Right.
but I think the purest one are people from Mexico. Like I think
Really?
yes. Like there's like a
it's not a popular opinion.
no, because Mexicans from the northern side, they have because my family's from the north, and so like they have like como hablan así con like a little like more
A bounce. It's
yeah,
got a bounce to
got a
it.
bounce to it.
And you know what's funny? I actually to even tie it back into music, I listen to Spanish music just so I can like study the rhythms
Right.
of like how
How they do
Spanish
it.
people like
Yeah.
like shaka-dicka-ba-rakata-rakata. I'm just like, ooh, that's super.
Yeah.
That's
But see,
that sauce. yeah.
exactly, man. But see, like you know how I don't know if you probably there's a difference between like Puerto Ricans that live here in the United States and Puerto Rico.
Right, in actual Puerto Rico.
And
yeah.
so if you think about like the where you
sorry, I cut
ahead,
you off,
go.
but Steven Rodriguez,
the newest member,
the possibly new member for Sweet
Cambodia.
Cambodia, obviously heavy
accent, man.
right?
Heavy accent.
He's from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And like you can just tell, like he's got like he's actually from Puerto Rico, so like he has like his Puerto Rico slang, and then he came over to America later on in his life.
Let me ask you this.
So-
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think English is more pure, I guess, crisp when it's slower or faster?
English is the slut of languages.
It is a slut. But what do you think of when you think of like when you hear somebody that has a good like a crisp English,
crisp ass accent.
crisp ass accent? what do you think of? Do you think of like the country? Do you think of the England?
Definitely
Do you
not
think that-
country. Yeah, I mean, and that's actually really hard to say.
Yeah,
because
it's hard.
because if you're from California, you're like always dragging everything out, you know, and you're like, man.
Dude.
But then if you're from like certain parts of like the north,
the Midwest, or if you're from the
if
north,
you're from
yeah.
like Brooklyn, or you know, if you're from
Yeah.
New York, you're like, yo, what are you doing over
Dude.
there? Hey, Benny, oh my God, you know, you're just like,
Oh my God.
who the fuck taught you how to talk?
Stick together.
Why are we so Italian? I don't know.
know.
We're talking with our hands now. No.
Freaking,
It's like a whole other sign language. No.
freaking, I watched Joe. I don't know if you watched, but Joe Rogan's comedy, and he's like, man, you gotta be really aware of accents. Like Texas, man, they have a hard accent, but you gotta know like those people, they will do some damage.
Right.
He's like, you go to California, what are you gonna do? Speak. Are you gonna speak correct
Texas.
and concise? Like he's
Yeah.
just like,
Right.
that's the thing. 'Cause that's why California's great. And I was just like, I guess.
Oh, you know what? You know who probably has like the best like speaking of English?
English.
God, as I say that, like
it was like a Puerto Rican guys. Like,
I would say like probably people in like Seattle or some shit like that.
Okay.
You know,
You think
like
that's like
Oregon or Seattle
from the
'Cause, like,
city?
They don't really have like that. You know, there's not that like drag. There's not a draw. They're like very. I feel like they're probably like pretty proper
pretty
in the
concise.
way. Yeah.
There's it's
Yeah.
like, and I
They
can
got
agree
diction.
with that.
You know. Yeah.
Me and my other roommate Victoria, we're from the South. Like she's from the Bayou, so she has a Louisiana accent.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
and
You know what's even funnier is that like and you can like this is kind of like the same thing whenever it comes to Spanish and meeting all these people from Puerto Rico
Yeah.
and you know Mexico and like hearing the different slangs
Right.
with Southern accents. There's different types of Southern accents.
Exactly. Someone
If
from
you-
Alabama has a different one than Texas.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Super slow.
Super slow.
And we're just hanging out.
Yeah.
But then you're from Tennessee. And then you're kind of like, oh yeah, you know, Johnny, he went over to the football game the other day,
And such.
and he's always they kind of like draw out like the e a little bit, you know, they're like, yo, you know, e.
Man, there's so many different accents.
It's very like higher pitched, I
It's
feel
higher.
like, you know,
and
but
it's weird because maybe like there's someone that's very like intelligent that lives in that sort of area that has an accent, but makes it sound so good.
Right.
And you have somebody like from a different.
I blame the school. I blame the
school
schooling. Yeah. Because Alabama, you need to work on your shit, bro.
It's like molasses spewing out.
Yeah, I'm just like Bubba over here. We gotta. I'm just like Jesus fucking Christ. Like what?
Yeah,
what do you want? Money? Oh, you're a lawyer. Damn. Oh shit.
Bro, see, even, let's take it back to Spanish. Like the I don't know, man. Sometimes I can't understand a lot of like the people that speak like.
Can't understand.
You see how my
starting to slip out now that
we're
talking about
out. Oh my gosh.
Can't understand.
Let me just.
Yeah, you might as well.
Let me just put on this.
God, all right.
The other way. This way right there. No. That the heavy the part that goes like that. There you go. Just
Is it like this?
Just like that.
Hold on.
Just like that.
Like that.
It's just like that. All right. So welcome back to the new addition to Johnny Review. Oh, not Johnny Review. Slice. Forget.
All right. Okay.
Forget.
I probably should have taken that one. I could have done a better country accent.
Go ahead. If you want to try it on? Go ahead.
Alrighty. Wait.
It's the other way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it right? All right. You get the fuck off my lawn. That's it.
Bro, that's the thing, man.
Even goddamn off my lawn.
The type of hat even says what kind of country are you.
Right.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. There's so much about it that stems deep, man. It stems so deep.
But honestly, trying to put this on with the headphones is so
shit.
terrible.
It's shit. Yeah. Don't
try to do that.
Yeah, no.
That's so poor.
For this episode, we took
There's poor taste. Damn it. It's starting to come out, and it's like, well, we live in Florida, folks.
There's country accents in Florida, like even saying it like
that. I mean, yeah, there is. I feel like the more north you get, you kind of like start to see
Alabama, Georgia, Georgia, Florida.
Yeah, the more like the north of Florida is like you start getting close to like it's like lower Alabama. It's not even really like Florida anymore. Yeah. So they're just like Merb. But
so yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like. Spanish has this whole different accent. So going back to your question, I don't know, man. Like there's like this like the way that people talk like in Argentina and Venezuela, and it's like so. There's some that jump the gun,
right? That
like,
are harsh, yeah.
And then some that just laid back in the way that they say things.
So it's funny. So my basis would be like Colombian Spanish.
Yeah, he has a Colombian Spanish. Yeah, Savvy.
Yeah. So my basis would argue for days that like his Spanish
is the best one.
The purest.
I'm gonna have a show.
Is the best.
I'm gonna have an episode with nothing but Hispanics here, just talking about which one. We
should bring Steven out here too because he's Puerto Rican. So then we got like we got Puerto Rican, Colombian.
What? Because you're Puerto Rican.
Argentina.
You're from Argentina?
No, what the fuck? I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah, no, it's just like no.
I'm from Florida, folks. Yeah.
Savvy, he's Colombian. Steven,
Puerto Rico.
Straight up Puerto Rico.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
Eric's actually also Colombian.
He's also Colombian?
Also Colombian, yeah. And Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Colombian and Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not just Puerto Rican.
You're a mutt.
I'm French, Sicilian, and Puerto Rican. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah. And I don't know any of the languages.
I feel like people say like all of those just to be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a slice of this, slice of that, and like
it's nice. Like you say Sicilian, you're just like, damn. He's automatically sexy.
Oh, he's French. Okay.
Oh, shit, he's a French boy.
You ever done you did the 23andMe? I'm assuming that little like thing that tells you how many.
No, I haven't. No, this is just from word of mouth from my parents.
Yeah, and stemming from that, like Mexico, man, it has like from like African, Afro, Latin, all the way up to like Arab to Indian to Chinese to. It has so much, man. There's like Mexicans like. And I had an episode with Dominican. He's Dominican, but he's a barber.
That's another one I forgot.
Yeah.
So many fucking different types of Spanish.
Yeah, man. There's so many different types. And what me and him were talking about is like how he like the hairstyle from it goes from Afro Latin all the way to like white. And so, like, he has to know how to cut.
Hairstyles? Okay.
So he has to know how to cut.
That's very fucking true. I mean, my hair becomes an afro eventually 100%. If I just keep letting it grow. It's just like, well, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with myself.
Yeah,
and it has a mind of its own. Like,
dude, curly hair is great. I love it.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
It's a blessing and a curse because you know what? All the straight haired people, like, they can't really get authentic curly hair, right?
They have to like. Have you seen those new videos?
But yeah, right. I'm just like, that don't look right. But like with me, I can straighten my hair and be like, oh, look, I look like you.
I straightened my hair once, man. Once.
Dude, I used to straighten my hair every single day.
For real,
yeah.
bro?
Oh,
why?
I was a teeny weenie. Oh yeah.
Like everybody was like,
100%.
Like, let me
I had snake bites. Yeah. I had snake bites.
Back to in the emo goth age.
Oh, dude, I was super scene. I was a seeny weenie. I dyed the tips of my hair blonde.
Oh, man.
Listening to fucking like Ali Sana and like Attack.
Dude, it's
yeah.
Dude,
Which eventually I feel like turned to gent now.
Yeah.
Thank God for gent.
Yeah.
But yeah, Attack.
Man, it's crazy because how much music would influence that, like your style. I guess I don't know how to like even put it, but like Metallica, like everybody was just like listening.
Definitely
to them,
Metallica.
Yeah, yeah, dude, and everybody was just like.
I feel like if you listen to Metallica, you have cargo shorts on and a Walmart T-shirt that you get from the
store. there's so many styles that go with that. Slipknot, you had like all these different style choices. Mm-hmm. You had dude, like you go to the punk rock phases, and you got the pop punk, and then you got the grungy.
They all have their own clothing line.
Yes,
you know,
man.
like if you were to like categorize all these genres into clothing lines, I could lay it out for you right here. So
lay it on me, man.
Metallica, right? I already said it.
100%.
It's a Walmart shirt and cargo shorts.
Probably Metallica people.
I can piece that together with the Pantera people as well. Like they're just Pantera. Like
my brother got me into
all
Pantera.
That shit. If you listen to Slipknot, you probably have worn the parachute pants, and you had the chains, and you dyed you painted your nails black, and you were like, fuck everybody, I'm gonna shoot this school up.
What is emotion?
Or Korn, you know.
Korn.
If you listen to punk, you either were hella fucking against tight jeans, or you were just like, but they were always ripped.
Wait, hold on, bro. You gotta remember, we had in the 2000s, we had the poofy. We had the poofy even the skateboarder phase, but like those pants.
That was hella like punk in the 90s.
Yeah, and then like somewhere in the almost late 2000s, it went to skinny.
It ascended, yeah. So it's definitely situational whenever it comes to like the times.
You know, it's funny. This is a good transition because you're also I guess an actor, but not like
I'm a model.
You're a model because you told me what happened today. That's why I was oh wait, you learned lines? Like what?
Yeah.
Acting, what?
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Keep going.
So and then you can go from punk, which was like you can even say like they were definitely like even had the loose, but like they always had like tears and stuff like that. You know, they were the patches and like fuck Nazis and shit,
super slim, everything. It was just kind of like,
and then you get to pop punk. Now you have like the hella tight shorts, and you rolled them up, and you got your favorite band tee,
the jorts. I think that's what they were called.
The jorts. Oh, bro,
that's what I think that was more accepted was pop punk.
Pop punk, yeah. It was definitely like a mix of like, if punk went 1950s. I feel like they've always kind of like punk in 1950s. They always had like a thing with each other. They always like wanted to have.
Wait, which part of 1950? Because I'm thinking Greaser. I'm thinking like
exactly. Like the rebellious part, obviously.
Yes, okay.
I mean, what do you? No, the parents that were like, hey, you can't go out.
But there's also
stop smoking cigarettes.
The squares, the dapper, the people that were like super like. Because I like both of those.
It's like a mix, you know. I mean, that's why like the pop punk kids they would roll up the sleeves because it was nice looking. Yeah, it was a clean look on the jorts, you know.
It was dude. I had it where I lived. I
did that shit all the time.
All the time. we had a dress code, so like even regardless with the dress code, people still try to figure out a way to adapt that punk. With the dress code.
Yeah, you had a tie, loosen the tie just a little bit, you know?
No, bro, ours was just a polo t-shirt And then like you see, the people
You had
with
to
the
you had to
tuck
put
it
the-
in, but then
yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, I can get the belt. I'm gonna get the checkered seat belt
Right.
type of
Yeah,
like, something.
The bullets.
Oh,
the bullets. Oh yeah, that was like a fuck you
Yeah,
private
dude.
school.
Yeah.
I go
No,
to
bro.
a Catholic church, or
Oh,
I go to
man.
Catholic school.
It was crazy, man. It was crazy. The wristbands.
Yeah,
the-
something. Yeah, you got to switch it up somehow.
Somehow, like
you get a pen.
Oh,
Pens,
yeah,
pens are
yeah,
fucking good.
yeah.
You just like put a fuck God or something on there, yeah, just to piss everybody off.
the bands, everything, man. Everything about that.
Like
it
you
was
can't
crazy,
change me all the way. Fuck you. Yeah, that was
There was the
honestly,
rebelliousness. Okay, I can understand that.
You know what's funny? I actually have a story that I can share with this. I was super into Never Shout Never.
Really?
Whenever I was in, oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm in trouble. Oh god. But I loved Christopher Drew to death, and I was like, oh my god, I want to be like him, because I thought he was the cutest, seeny weeny. Yeah,
everybody.
it was great.
Yellow
So
polka dot bikini.
so he would always wear these headbands on his hair because he would use it to keep his hair out of his eyes.
Yeah. I feel like
And-
headbands for guys I think it started getting to us too. Like,
Right.
Longer hair, everything.
So,
Keep going.
but I was in middle school when I was doing this, so it wasn't quite accepted yet.
Okay.
We weren't there yet.
Yeah.
And so I was going to the schools, Bruner Middle School, and actually I have a lot of stories that I can share about this fuck ass place of a school.
You can say
But,
whatever you want, man.
But just for starters, whenever I went to the school, I was in the 7th grade. And I decided to wear a headband because I was straightening my hair and I wanted to keep the hair out of my eyes. And girls were allowed to wear headbands.
Yes.
But guys were not allowed to wear headbands. Right? And I was like, fuck that. Because I was like, why can I not do that? I need it to keep the hair out of my eyes, just like the girls do.
Yeah.
So I wore them. And I would get called up to the office and be like, you can't wear the headbands on your head. I'm like, but girls are wearing them. Like, they're just like, it's just not allowed for guys, right?
Yeah.
And I even had a science teacher,
Explain to you.
Listen, Donnie, headbands are for women. They're for girls. You need to stop doing this. Like, really. And I was just like, damn, I'm going to get 70 people to wear headbands tomorrow because you just said that to me.
I'm gonna rebel,
and
just because of what you said.
And that's actually exactly what the fuck I did. I bought 120 headbands.
that's so awesome.
that same day,
shit.
brought them, and I told everybody, I was like, yo, we're wearing headbands tomorrow. It's gonna be a headband day. And literally, I had everybody wearing headbands.
What do you call that? You're a trendsetter.
Right?
That's what you
Yeah.
just did.
And but you know what was fucked is that the kids started snapping them on the other kids' heads because we're 7th graders and we're just
They're just
we think balls are funny and
anytime someone said penis and
yeah.
First time ever taking sex ed. Dude.
Yeah, you're just yeah. So obviously for me to try to be doing this movement as a 7th grader, I was like. But I did it, and and I put money into it. I put my allowance into this, and so I actually got called up to the office that day to the principal's office, and they were like, sit down, blah blah blah, and he was like, so
what's going on?
We see that you're starting a trend here with the headbands, blah blah blah, and he just explained to me the rules of you can't have any headwear. And I was just like, look, that's not okay. You let women do this. Why can't men do this? And his only thing was these immature kids are slapping them on their heads. And I was like, fair.
These kids are just slapping them
I was like, fair point, but I'm not. And I have long hair, as you can fucking see, and I can't see your ass right now because my bangs are too long. He just said, get a haircut. And I'm like, this is my style, bro. So it was just this whole thing.
That's funny.
And
I told you I grew out my hair too, and don't get me wrong, I love long curly hair, man. But also I started that's when I first started realizing, fuck, I really need a fucking headband, fucking shit. So I started implementing that into my style, and I was okay, this is pretty cool. I started going, I got on Pinterest, and I was like, all right, this is
how you do it.
This is how you do it, and
Yep.
so it was pretty cool. No, man, style changes all the time, and I just feel like
I just wish they would have supported me.
no,
you know?
100%. It was school.
I'm in seventh grade. I'm trying to find myself. Like
all these hormones are going through my body.
What if I was just like starting to become like homosexual? What if I was becoming gay? You know, like
yeah. It's weird, man.
And they didn't support that, so I was just like, "Fuck you guys!"
Man,
what if I was gay and like I like associated with that, and you're gonna tell me not to be who I am because because of all these kids? Like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, so. And that's the thing, man.
So then I think they just ended up making it to where like nobody could wear the headbands, not even
that
girls.
Was the thing. I think that's the reason why people bring up dress code is just because. I don't know, even like it was like bringing up like rich and poor, trying to like make everybody feel like they're all the same and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, there's a certain point where you're just like, dude, just let them wear whatever they want. Like, it's okay. It's style. It's like, it's meant to be kind of expressive and do whatever. Like, you can do whatever with it. And and you're not wrong. Like, I think it wasn't until like after high school when I started like really going into like style, like for men, and then going into like, I started liking like actual 50s, dude. I love 50s. Yeah, I would roll up my sleeves,
I had my
man.
Flannel. I have my flannels rolling. Yeah, that's a style.
That's what people like acknowledge me at in middle school. They were just like, man, like because we watched Grease. Well, I did watch Grease, but it wasn't that. It was The Outsiders. It was the one with Patrick Swayze. Swayze. Yeah, dude, he was in it. Ralph Macchio was in it. Matt Dillon was in it. Rob Lowe.
So this movie influenced you to...
Yeah, dude, I love that style in that movie. They were just like these rebellious kids. Did you start
putting the pomade in your hair?
Yes, man. Especially because I had curly hair and shit. So it was like
really cute.
And I did. Well, thank you, man. And it's so like now, like I even have like pomade still here because I like styling sometimes.
It goes great with curly hair,
dude. It does, man. And then, like it goes.
I have
great.
pomade in my hair right now.
Yeah, and it goes good with straight hair too. Like for anybody that's like straight hair, yeah. But I would roll up my sleeves, man. Roll up my jeans. I would wear the Converse. I've got the boots. I'm like, nah, man. This is the bad boy look I love. And then later on, I started realizing, wait, there's more to the 50s. There's more to it, and it started like going.
Dad.
Yeah,
the dad.
Tucking it in.
You're like, now I'm not gonna be the kid anymore. I'm not gonna be the kid that fixes the car. I'm gonna be the dad that drives up in the car.
Here's the thing, I love both. So it's like I love that sort of style, dude. And then
it's very businessman though. You know, it was very businessman. But it was like I feel like back then it was like kind of almost funkier.
Yeah,
you know?
I love. It's the only reason I got to this because I love wearing the hats. The rat. I guess the rat group type of hat. It was just like what is it called? The pack rat.
Like the jazz hats.
Yeah, like those types of hats. But then they kind of transcend through like time. Like there's a 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s types of hats.
Wait, are you talking about the hats that kind of have like a visor right here a little bit?
Oh no, those are like dapper.
Like the bass player hats. You know what I'm talking about?
No, not those. No? Like the one that Savvy wears?
No, that's a bucket hat.
Yeah, there's a bucket hat.
That's a bucket hat. No, but you know, it's kind of like a golf hat a little bit where it like comes out, but it's like still wraps around your head.
Oh, those. I have dude. I have so many.
Do you have one of those?
I do. I have.
What the fuck is with you in hats?
Dude, I love hats, bro. That's the thing. Like, it's just a part of my style. But see, like, this is a different style. But
you know what? I kind of gave up on hats. I used to wear beanies all the time.
I still have beanies.
I have a shitload of beanies, but over time, I just like. I got curly hair. Nobody really has that. Like, that's kind of a unique thing. I'm just going to, like, grow off that.
That's the thing. I just think it just goes off of style. Like, I love my curly hair. I love, like, I can, like, style to do whatever. But I also like this style. I like that style. Right. I like all these different types. So it's just, like, it's cool to implement all. Look at that hat over there. Fucking, like, sometimes when I'm wearing my longboard, I'm on my longboard. I'm like, I want to go skateboarder. Yep. Just did it right there.
Now I'm a skateboarder. Bloop, bloop.
Exactly. Yeah. I just dress for the to impress. I guess.
Just for the occasion. Yeah.
And I like it, man. I want to go swing dancing. Best believe I'm gonna go to the 10s, and I'm just like, that's how I'm gonna go. If I'm going country dancing, I got my boots going. I'm going like, see, that's the thing. I just love that.
It's very cute of you.
Thank you. But see. Where did we get to? We were like talking about language, then we got to Spanish, then we got to like all this stuff. Oh wait, okay. Well, we got to fashion. Okay, so I was gonna ask you too. For you to get to the point where you are now, everything that happened with 2020, everything that's going on, like I'm not trying to get all serious here, but at the same time,
let's get serious. Yeah,
I mean 100%. But
we goofed around for a while.
But like the transitioning point of like what 2020 did to your band and everything like that. Explain man, like y'all were doing so y'all were telling me y'all were doing so good, and then boom, like so what is it now? Is it like what are y'all, like stagnated right now?
It's definitely a standstill. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's not a standstill. Like to a certain degree. Like how can I describe it? We still create a lot of content, and we are still like making our money, but right now it's just so much harder to do it because we made a lot of our revenue through live shows, and so now it's like strictly online stuff. So now we're just like having to just make a new market just strictly online. Like I can't go to a coffee shop and sit face to face with somebody and be like, come to my show.
Right.
Be like, yo, I have an online show. If you're available, do it.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people don't give a shit because you're just like that. But if somebody comes and sees a live show and they can experience something, then they're more willing to like come out and do that.
Right.
So it's changed a lot.
The reason I ask is just because, like, even just the whole inspiring, like, these new musicians that are coming up and everything like that, and the idea of like technology and COVID, how much that kind of like sucked for everybody, like you guys, where it's just like, man, we're getting there, we're getting to that point, and then boom, like we have to adapt for and then that brought up to like y'all going into the create, like I love create coffee shop, and y'all had like a show in there and with it's like a photography studio, and they have that over there. Fuck, man, like how is that in that world, like for the musicians
having to put together these events,
all these
now,
things
and
now, like how different it is? What for like the struggles and stuff?
It's so just, it's a whole other world. Like like it's no longer a real live performance now. It's no longer just like playing in front of people and feeling the energy of other people onto you. It's no longer an exchange of energy. It's now sitting in front of a camera and doing your best you can, and just trying to create the energy yourself. But one of the best things about live performances is the exchange of energy from the crowd to the band and back and forth.
It's the vibe there, like that. Man, I think it's especially, I use that even in sports sense, like you
hypes you up.
It hypes you up. Like,
you do better. You do crazier shit.
Yeah, and it's
you might
like,
even do a front flip over somebody.
You hit a home run. Everybody's like, oh, and you're just like, yes.
It makes you run faster. Yeah,
exactly. And it's like, man, I
perform
so much more better. I was about to say,
so crazy. Like I will fucking do the craziest shit on stage whenever I'm feeling the energy and just living in that moment. You know, you just go off and it's off script. You're just and that's the true magic behind live performances. It's like, what we don't know what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
And that's the point.
Exactly.
And it's like it's kind of magic in a sense. You know, it's like a solo. Like there's a song that's coming up, and then all right, your time to improvise. A new thing right here in front of
emerges.
We're just creating something right here. And then a lot of the times whenever you solo with a crowd, they feed you this energy that you would never get like while you're trying to solo by yourself. Right. So you're sitting there and you could solo for hours in this one part, but whenever you're at the live performance and it's that time and that moment comes up, boom, this crazy new idea comes into your head last minute, and you're just on that train. Yeah. And you're just feeling the whole vibe of the whole room, you know?
Freak, man. No, that's the reason why I wanted to ask. I was like, man, like, I know I've talked to you about this, but like not on the podcast, but it's just like, just so just people can know, like, and COVID sucks for anybody that goes through it, but just looking at it from the musician standpoint, like how much struggle now, like especially with the entertainment business going berserks, like in any type of entertainment. I'm talking about sports, talking about anything. Like, man, like the spectator thing, it definitely heightens. It definitely heightens the way that you show out, the way that you entertain, and that's in anything. So it's like, it's a weird world right now, and I just wanted to see how that really did impact the world that you live in. So it's a cool concept.
Definitely has heavily impacted us, because I mean, like I said, people have seen it. Like, we were playing sold out shows prior to COVID, and then COVID hit, and it's just like no shows. Yeah. all things canceled for 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're like lining stuff up in 2021. You know.
Yeah.
And like
Because y'all were going to L.A. Like that's what y'all told me.
We
like,
were.
y'all were like, let's pick it
gonna,
up. This is our year.
We were gonna leave in February of 2020.
That's when everything just went straight to shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that sucks, man. Yeah, they did. Let me just kind of chime in. Like there was this group, Mexican group. So they're called Yahadi, and they implemented this sort of like talk show host thing
that sounds like something we were trying to do.
Yeah. So like to try to implement like different people kind of like talking and doing all these different things. And my dad is friends with the old drummer, or like a lot of the people that were in the old Yahadi band.
Okay.
And now there's the original group. And now that they're all these young Thundercats that are in there, they're just all like cool. And so they're like, hey, anybody that's entertainers and like know anything, like let us know. And it's a 3-hour show, but it's so entertaining to watch. And it's just so funny because, well, one, my mom and dad sent them the video, and they're like, he's gonna be on today, he's gonna be on, but it's just so funny how they adapted and how they started like succeeding in that. They have to
because you can't stop the grind.
No, you can't.
And that's literally how things have turned into. Like as Sweet Cambodia as a band, like we have literally we've bought like a green screen, we bought like a lot of tripods, a lot of lighting now. Yeah. We have just like all this
technical stuff that you feel like you would need.
Now we're like strictly like just doing stuff online until we really start going back and playing shows again whenever it's safe. You know?
When we have the rest of the band, because I want them to come on just so they can chime in and everything. But man, it's a really unique experience. And like for those people that don't know Sweet Cambodia, I'm gonna try to do everything I can from my angle just to throw as much Sweet Cambodia out there as I can, just so, because I love you guys for one, but two, the music is great, is awesome. And man, so talk about your modeling. Like for those that Donnie, great looking guy. This dude he's a good looking guy. He told me these stories that I can't wait for them to share with you guys. But today, what happened?
So I
just so people know what the modeling world is like.
So my agent they hit me up and they were like, "Hey, you got a booking for."
So then
that's really the excerpt.
Then you get there and they said, "Scratch all that."
So I send them the video. That's actually in a video So okay. I sent them my submission video. They loved it. They were like, "Oh, awesome! Let's have them for a callback." And so I have a callback, and I'm like, "Okay, well, when's the callback? Today. All right, cool." So I get into this whole conference thing, and they're just like, "All right, so just kind of like riff off of this," and I'm just like, "What do you mean?" What do you mean riff off of it? I don't know anything about Quest. I'm like, yeah, so I really like the fact that everybody on Quest is intellectual and and yeah. So and it's funny because they didn't really tell me until like the day of. They were like, by the way, this is for like a gay dating site. I'm like, oh. This makes sense. This makes
total sense.
And then I'm thinking like, damn, do I really come off like that feminine?
Here's
fine.
You're not gay for one.
I'm actually pansexual.
Okay, well, see, there you go. But I'm just trying to put it into the world that like I guess you're just trying to like get into that idea of what did you know it was for a gay site?
Not at first, no.
No,
it was just like
the way you read it.
Cool. Yeah,
like
and then I read the fine line. I was like,
oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah. And the fact that like that they loved me, I was just like, that really says a lot about me. It's like,
yeah,
I must really come off very feminine.
Dude, it's funny, man. That's so hilarious.
I was like, is it the way I speak? Is it the fact that I have a lesbian mom? Did it rub off on me? Like I have two sisters.
Here's the thing. We all have a feminine side. Like every guy has a feminine side to them. Doesn't matter. Like you could be the most masculine guy. You can be like this macho, testosterone, but you have a feminine side to you. Sometimes like you have to you gotta get into that inner feminine, and that stems to everything. Like you have to know that the balances between your masculine and your feminine side, and that's will get you further in anything. Your dating life, if you're in a relationship.
I think
like
being
anything.
able to connect to your emotions
Right.
and not really worrying about the egotistic masculinity that's built within like the culture and society that goes on now. It's like it's definitely like once you're able to like really just look past all that and like really look within yourself and kind of like be like, am I really like, what do I like, you know?
That's the thing. Like
you figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
But a lot of the times, and a lot of like, I would say like a lot of dads are like, fuck you for being gay. You know, I mean, obviously now in these times, and
it's different now. It's becoming more accepted.
Progressive.
Yes, yeah.
But back whenever I was a kid, like, it was
no, man! It's just Hispanic culture.
Yeah.
It's still ingrained in that whole idea.
Yeah, like I would get the shit beat out of me if I said anything, and like lo and behold, I like both. You know.
No, but see,
my mom, she was like I love my mom. My mom was like
she was more accepting of it.
She's a lesbian, but for my whole life.
Okay.
But for my whole life, she was bisexual anyway, you know?
Okay.
So like, but she was with my dad, obviously. So she chose to try to like, she was being straight, I guess, at that point. But really she was always, kids and then she liked both.
Yeah.
But she really just like opened my eyes to like, just love people. It's not about like loving like somebody's dick or like somebody's vagina, because like that's not what love is about. You don't just love somebody for their parts, you know. You're just okay.
That's the thing. Also, I think okay. So I'm not gay. I am straight. But
whatever.
See, not for real. But at the same time, when I get hit on, I get hit on by like, it's like, dude, I'm flattered. Thank you. I really like. I'm not gonna diss on and like say like, oh, I hate you for like doing shit like that.
That'd be fucking weird,
dude.
I mean, like, there are people that are like that. Though,
yeah, 100%. And so, but that's the thing. I think it's because I love people that I can accept like. I can talk to anybody. I can talk to anybody about anything. Like, and if that's the case, like, yeah, you even if I have different views, it's like, dude, I'm not gonna shun you. I'm not gonna hate on you. I'm not gonna do anything.
So a way that I've kind of described it to people, whenever people ask me, like, oh, you're pansexual, like, no, you just like.
Wait. Okay. Pansexual is everything, right? Well, here's the thing. Like, I don't. It got to like LGBTQ and they kept going. At this point, I'm just like, there's some things. Like they're crazy, and I'm just like.
So like really, so like the difference between pansexuality and bisexuality is like, I feel like bisexual is more derived to like either a man or a woman, and you like both, right? You like a man and a woman. But with pansexuality, it's more or less like you just like people. No matter what they really are, like they can be transgender, they can be, you know,
anything
eunuch,
from that, you
know, girl, guy. It doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter the sexuality of that person. You love them for who they are, not because of their sexual organ, right? Okay. And so that's kind of like what it means in the dictionary. But a good way that I can kind of describe it is, if a person, not a man nor a woman, but if a person comes into my life and is able to make me feel love, like make me feel love and I feel love back for them, and we have a mutual like love for each other, then that's then awesome. Like, then I'm in love. They could have whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm just in love with that person, and that's kind of like just a good way that I can describe it. Is like, it's not about the sex part. It's just about like the strictly just like loving that person. Right. You know?
Dude, and this thing, I'm going to chime on that. And not saying like, let's just say like all throughout, the best way to put it is like, I had she was on here. We were just talking about like relationships and dating and everything. Like, what is a guy there's this thing called like alphas and betas and all this other stuff that we were just talking about. And yeah, right. So like I wanted to see her perspective. Yeah, I wanted to see her perspective, especially just her being the opposite end of what I am.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, this is perfect. We can talk about this stuff. I mean, she was, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
And I was just like, okay. Yeah.
Cool.
And so we got into it, and then I was just like, I think a lot of it can stem from like upbringing also. Like it can be from the ideas that you meet about, like, let's just say there are people out there that straight up hate guys. Like like women out there that straight up hate guys. Like and then there's men out there that straight up hate like women and the idea of feminism and all that stuff. And and the thing is, it's like if you meet a bunch of assholes, like men or women, like you're gonna think a certain way of how they portray. So at that point, you kind of like, this isn't working for me. So then they start kind of like delving deeper and deeper and deeper.
Maybe,
and that's
a way to get there.
And I'm just saying,
I think that's definitely actually one of the things that happened with my mom.
Okay,
was that like,
are you okay talking about this?
Yeah. I mean, I was there witnessing it all.
Yeah.
So like with my mom in particular, she was with my stepdad for like 10 years or something like that. Or like maybe even longer. But she was always bisexual. She was never not bisexual whenever she started. She was always bisexual from the moment that she was born. She knew that she liked both. Right. But she would, whenever she had a lover, she was monogamous and, just only loved that person.
Yeah. And that's what bisexual would mean, right?
But here's the thing that kind of like switched her over to the other side was that, like, even though she was curious, she wanted to have like a family with a man, but my stepdad just like ended up, they just did not get along at all. And at the end of it all, like she just ended up like not hating men, obviously, but was like, altered her way of I'm really tired of this shit. Like I'm going to go and try something else. Yeah. And I think that one of the big things for it was that women are a lot more and can be a lot more empathetic. Yeah, that also is like open. Men can be very cold and very egotistically driven and masculine. Yes. And so I think whenever it came to her decision, she was like, "All right, tried that for my whole life. Gonna go and try for women again. I think that women are more my speed." And then she just started dating women. And honestly, like out of all the people that she's dated and been with and been in relationships with, like she's been happier with a woman. Right. I'm just like, fuck
whatever floats your boat, it's okay.
I just want my mom happy, so that's all I give a shit about,
Right. No, dude, and that's the thing. Like, like coming from a heterosexual guy, I think it's okay to be emotional. It's still okay to be like all these different things that women want, like women like essentially want from a guy. And it's that ego part that you gotta like, that you have to kind of like battle with
the balance.
Yes. And so granted, there is a sort of struggle that ends up happening, and like I feel like it's a lot more guys that they kind of like go through this stuff, and women are more, I feel like they would be more open to exploring than guys.
And especially as a Spanish man, just Spanish culture in general, I can say just shits all over those ideals. Man, it's like I mean, not to shit on like the Spanish culture, but
it's a traditional culture.
But I'm gonna shit on the culture. No, but I mean, I'm part of the culture, so I've understand it. I lived it, and the like Hispanic dads are like, you better not be gay. And you're just like, it's fucking weird, like what?
It's so weird, man. And
like you can do something that like wasn't even like that feminine, and like you'll get the shit beat out of you, and you're just like, you're like, wow. And that's because like they're just they become so egotistically driven, and they are so masculine in the sense, and they try to implement all that.
It's an overpowering thing, right? And that's the thing also, like even the way that I think a lot of people now try to stay true to those traditions. I think there's a breakthrough between like that and how, like, let's just say when I have kids, how I'm gonna raise my kids,
Right,
you know,
right.
like, and from there, I think it's there's something that is working, like, but again, I feel sorry for like Hispanics that can't get out of that, and it
Right.
sucks.
They get stuck in the ego.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
it's not even like I have like also family members that like struggle with that sort of
Mhm.
thing, and it's like, dude, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like I
same.
really do. I really.
And their
I'm
kids end up
sorry.
becoming fucked up.
Yeah,
Because of
yeah,
it, yeah.
and that's
then
that's
and
the
then
last.
and then it's on them to like really change and
Right.
do their own discovery, because
Right.
you can't be living off of what your
Exactly.
fucking homophobic dad said.
Exactly.
You know.
And that's the thing, man. I just feel like at a certain point, it's like, I there's some people that have that luxury to kind of like get out and try to like, you know, work on themselves, do
Right,
whatever. But that's the thing, like Texas is not like here. Like I guess I like what I'm saying is like
Right.
Austin has its own little pocket of circle, but then here it's more there is like a lot more liberal thinking.
Orlando Pride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is like the first time I've ever encountered a lot of that stuff.
Mhm.
But the thing is, it's just like I have to understand all that just so I can get along with like everybody, just so
Right.
I can like try to like, especially for the podcast, like I'm gonna want to talk to everybody and
Yeah.
get their perspective.
course.
Why do you think this way? Like, you know,
Right,
all this
right.
other stuff.
Yeah.
And that's
It's very humbling.
very humbling,
you know,
man. And that's the thing. Dude, I
Try
mean,
to sit in front of somebody that you essentially hate. You know.
yeah,
Could be good.
bro. And that's the thing. Like,
I feel like that's like one of the best ways that
ways
you
to do
can
I'm
open
just
your eyes to
exactly. I'm just trying to
new
like
shit.
understand people
Mhm.
why they think a certain way,
Right.
and it's like this is probably, I think for me, like people only know you for you, like maybe your drumming, your modeling, your
Mhm.
anything like that. But then whenever they see this, like, whoa, I didn't know all this about
Right,
him.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and like that's the thing that kind of like
Coming out, mom. No, just kidding.
no, man, it's just crazy. Like, like there's a lot of barriers that definitely need to be broken down,
Right.
and I think this is a good way to do it. But it's also good to talk about it. Like, it's good to talk about this shit. Like,
Right.
if there is shit, and there is shit.
Mhm.
So that's
I think that one thing is like it always comes to the intention behind what you're
Yes,
trying to learn
exactly.
from somebody else. Like if you're sitting in front of somebody that like you know that you guys are gonna have opposing sides, at least be cordial. You know? Like,
right.
And what the point is to be able to learn about those person's shoes and why they think the way that they do.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly, dude. It's crazy.
Podcasting.
And like I brought this up because this was in the talks. I don't even know if it is going to happen, but it was like the presidential candidates. Like it's
Jesus.
yeah, right. We're not going to get.
I don't even want to talk.
No, we're not going to talk about it. But it's just the idea of podcasting. I'm on.
What is it? Between a
Joe
douche,
Biden
a douche
Biden.
sandwich and
No,
a turd sandwich and a douchebag or
Yeah,
some shit like
something
that.
like that, man.
Jesus Christ.
But I listen to Joe Rogan a lot. Joe Rogan, he's one of my best influencers.
Mhm.
Influencers. And what ended up happening is that there was talks about him mediating both candidates on a podcast. I say, do it.
Well, he's a great mediator.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think you would get a lot more perspective from both angles.
Right.
So this is why I think it'd be like a make or break for either side. But I think it's what makes it fair. And I think podcasting, because I'm on the side of podcasting, that's why I think it's a good idea that you get a lot more perspective from somebody's input and output from a podcast. And so that's why I'm like, I think podcasting is like it's getting bigger. It's getting way bigger. And so
you learn a lot. If not
Right.
just knowledge, you learn a lot about the person that's talking.
Exactly.
You know? And you're like, sometimes they'll say shit, and you'll be like, damn, like they didn't realize.
I didn't realize this. Like, fuck.
It's cool.
Yeah. And so that's the thing, man. Like, it's like all those ideals, like they will come to light. And
Right.
and that's why I think that's why I think podcasting is a great way
That's
to
why
do
we're
it.
here. We're helping
Dude,
something out.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Man, dude, honestly, this was like, we talked about like fashion and shit, like, because
Wow, we had so many
different
topics.
so many
and just like
different things.
Jesus.
It kind of like bring it back a little bit to the musicians
Right.
and everything like that. Everything that stems from where you're at, what you're trying to do. Is there a sense of discipline that you feel like, because we talk about openness, and we talk and some aspects of life, and that can be anything. Is there a discipline that comes to being successful? And I think what I try to stem from this podcast in general is what I want people to understand from this podcast is that there's an idea of success from everybody's standpoint, and I want to see what your standpoint is. And it's like, is discipline a thing in your success?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
100%. It is like if you're trying to become successful in whatever career field that you want, especially in the entertainment industry.
Yes.
There will be sacrifice.
Yes.
To some degree, to hone your craft, to upload and make content.
Right.
Or to just better yourself so that you can make better music or whatever.
Right.
There's always going to be a sacrifice of time for your art.
Okay.
For whatever you want, so yeah.
Okay. The reason I ask is just says I do think that there's some disciplinary things that like structural things that you need to do in order to be successful. Yeah. And I think that's in anything. It doesn't matter. I'm starting a podcast and being a musician, being a vlogger, doing anything you want in life. I just think that there's some consistency that has to keep coming on.
Consistency is a good key word.
Is a key word. And so I think of that, and I think of discipline.
I think I literally sit in my room for maybe 8 to 10 hours a day, every day playing music.
Right.
And if it's not rehearsals, then it's my own practice.
Right.
And it switches from drums to guitar to singing in one day, and it's always back to back,
back to back.
Obviously like refreshing your ears, let your ears breathe a little bit, but I have a discipline, and I have a certain like practice regimen that I kind of like follow to get to where I need to be. And I'm constantly feeling like I'm not there, so I just keep working harder.
Yeah.
Until I get to where I need to be, and then some people think I'm overworking myself, but I think they're pussies.
I think you can say that with a straight face, like I think they're pussies.
Because if you really want something,
you're gonna fucking do it.
If you really want something, you will do anything you can without obviously like destroying yourself in the process.
Yes,
like don't fuck your way to the top, but fuck yourself to the top, if that makes sense. Mentally, physically, like just go overboard so that you can, like I don't want to die and be like, I didn't try hard enough.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I just want to become the best musician that I can be.
Exactly.
And if I'm sitting here fucking wasting my time on just all these distractions that happen within life, then I'm never going to be able to reach my goals because I'm not focusing on them.
Yeah.
So,
bro,
and discipline is the act of knowing that there's so much random shit going on and having that fun time.
Yes.
And purposely not having that fun time so that you can sit down and work and hone your craft.
That's a great way to put it. That's a really great way to put it. Especially like when it comes to like, that's the idea of like sacrificing and actually like putting yourself first over like what you're, or I think anybody else, but what you think, because time, dude, this life that we think we know, it's not here forever. Exactly. Yeah. That's why I said we think we know.
I'm mystical.
We think we know. Like
we don't know shit.
We don't know shit. Like I look at this podcast. People, if y'all get mad, whatever. I'm dumb as fuck. But at the same time, like don't think whatever I'm gonna say is true. But at the same time,
you be learning.
Exactly. But at the same time, I think that there's some truth to like that you have to understand that this life right now that we have is not. It's finite. This conscience and everything that we're talking about, live it the best way you can, but actually have a purpose to it. Yep. And I say that to like men and women, and I say that to open up people's avenues to say, if you're good at something, do it. Right. Like be the best that you can be.
Make something out of it,
dude. Yeah. Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Like your perspective on this, it stems bigger than like. Than just musicianship, and that's why I bring people on, and they're just like, yes, you have more than what like your eyes seem. Like we live in the Disney bubble, but we're not all Disney. Like, you know what I mean?
Hear that?
You hear that? You fucking hear
It's
that?
not just Disney.
It's not just Disney. It's not just that fantasy. We have other things that we can talk about, and so that's key. And I think that's what brings in a lot more people, especially to the table, man. Because I am a Disney guy, but I'm also a drummer. I'm also a musician. Yeah. I'm also a constant podcaster. I'm also
of all trades, honestly. Yeah,
exactly.
You have a wide fan.
Exactly, man. And so like even when I think about like working out, I feel like all of those, there's the aspect of discipline and consistency that you have to like keep going if you want to get like to where you want.
Yeah,
you know, that makes sense.
Especially for you, like as an interviewer, as a podcaster, you're always having to like learn so much random shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like if somebody comes on here and they're like, I fucking am a master Rubik's Cube guy, you're just like, well, fuck, now I got to learn everything about Rubik's Cubes. Let me know about Rubik's Cubes. It's like, and it's your job to like to really like research these things, and I think that's just so fucking cool.
Exactly, you know? and it falls in my lap, but also it's really cool that like I already knew you. I knew like you were a drummer. I knew like
this is a very natural reaction.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So we like just because we already knew each other, it was just like hell yeah, like let's fucking talk about it. There's a lot of key points that we kind of like agree on. There's a lot of key points that we don't agree on, but there's also like there's a commonality, and there's like okay, like you can keep going and keep finding
no matter what. We both know that we both like drums.
Boom. And that's the best way to put it.
Right. And there's always that commonality that you will share forever.
Exactly.
It's such a deep love, and whenever somebody has like a deep love for the same thing that you
it's like
love,
passionate. It's like very
compassionate.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like having a baby with somebody, you know.
It's a little baby.
Yeah.
It's a little.
Like, look, we both love the same thing. Yeah. That's cool.
Okay. No, dude. But we're getting to the 2-hour mark. We talked for.
Oh shit. Really?
No, we're good, man. We talked about a lot.
I noticed the sun went down. Yeah. I was like, damn, it got dark in here.
Fuck, man. And it's just it brightens my day knowing that like we talked about a lot. We talked about everything, a lot of things. We talked about almost a lot of stuff. Definitely, you're coming back on. We're having the band on.
Gonna bring Sweet Cambodia.
Yes.
We're gonna. There's a couple stories that I saved for
Sweet Cambodia
because we only scratched the surface with Sweet Cambodia.
Heck yeah.
Because there's some crazy shit. For the next podcast with Sweet Cambodia, we'll talk about the burning van story.
Oh gosh.
On tour.
Wait, the van that I saw?
No, I had another van.
Did you get another van?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I haven't had that one either.
We'll even send you a video and everything like that.
Yeah, we'll play it up here for the people that are watching.
Yeah. And it's like I'll bring that up, and it's like really the origin story on how Sweet Cambodia became Sweet Cambodia in the first place. Because at one point we were just kids, just trying to do things, and there was just like a lot of crazy shit that happened on tour. One time. It was our first tour, first tour
where
ever.
Did you go? Like, oh wait, I don't know.
I
was like, damn.
I'm not gonna talk about it.
I'm already like, I want to know.
I'm not gonna talk about it, but all I can say is that the first tour that we had was crazy, and it is the reason I think why we have stuck together so long is because people that struggle together stay together, and we fucking struggled. I'll say that, yeah. So stay tuned for that one, guys. That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. Well, dude, we're gonna end it here. We hit a lot of good points. I mean, definitely, like I said, you definitely come on again. We get Sweet Cambodia on.
And thank you for having
me.
Dude,
dude. Thanks for coming on, man. This was a great podcast, ladies and gentlemen. This was the Slice of Life podcast. We interviewed Donnie. He's a drummer. I'll put his link down below for his band, for him, his whole modeling, like everything that he does. Just so you know where to find him, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, go to Spotify, go to any of I have this podcast everywhere, guys, so you can find it. It's gonna be up there, guys. But thank you for tuning in for us. This was another episode of The Slice of Life, guys. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.